I was personally curious whether there was a big difference between the LavAzza Espresso Italiano and the LavAzza Crema Gusto. In particular, I want to know, was it, did the Crema Gusto really produce better crema, more of it flavor-wise? So I did this little experiment. I'm going to show you the film of both being made and the crema they produce in a second. But just to go over, I always like to show you guys the actual grinds, because the grinds, even between different LavAzza flavors, tends to vary a bit. And depending on what type of, when you're buying over-the-counter grinds, or grinds from off the shelf, I would say, from a store, as opposed to a specialty coffee shop where they grind it for you, or you grind it yourself. Each different espresso machine tends to work a little bit better with a slightly different size grind. So I like to show you guys, give you the details. I'm going to do that in a second, but just to start off, price-wise, they're about the same. I ended up having to buy just to get the better price on Amazon, I bought the LavAzza Crema Gusto in a pack of 4. They come in these vacuum packs like this. These are 8.8 ounces. This can of the Espresso Italiano is 8 ounces. No big difference, 0.8 ounces. So as far as the color of the grinds, it's going to be hard to pick up on the camera, but the Espresso Italiano is actually a bit lighter. Now, granted, both of these have been in the refrigerator for about a week, which is kind of pushing it, but so they may have oxidized a little bit, may have changed color from that perspective, but overall, this is still a little bit of a lighter brown. This is a bit of a darker, and now I'm going to try to zoom in, and hopefully the captures the actual size so that you guys can get a better feel whether this is going to work on your own coffee machines, on your own espresso machines. And let's see if that works for you. And this is the Crema Gusto. Try to get right up in there. If I spread it around a bit. Hopefully that helps you determine, because that was a big issue for me, always trying to figure out what was going to work in my DeLonghi. Not sure how well the video captured it, but from a grind perspective, the Espresso Italiano is just a bit less finely ground than the Crema Gusto. This is just ever so slightly ground more. And, look, from a taste perspective, that's individual to each person. For me, I always kept going back to the Espresso Italiano versus the Crema Gusto. Crema Gusto, I tried it many different ways. I tried it with milk, with froth, straight up, with sugar, without sugar, and I always ended up going back to the Espresso Italiano. If you guys have any thoughts, or I'm wondering, is this a universal thing or just my opinion? If you have a preference one over the other, please let me know your thoughts. And if you have different results based on your espresso machines and the grind, I'd love to hear about that. And please share it with others, because others will benefit from this video as well. And on that note, if you did find this at all helpful, please do give it a thumbs up so that others can find this review. Other people don't seem to be doing these close-ups of the grinds. I mean, I always find that helpful because my espresso machine was kind of sensitive to that. So I wanted to help others. I'm going to show you that Crema Test in a second, so hang on. All right, now for the fun part, to see if the Crema Gusto actually produces more crema than the regular espresso from LavAzza. I got this queued up, ready to go, using clear glasses today. Hopefully we can see the crema a little bit better. I'm going to make this all official with a proper stopwatch, just so we get the same amount of time for each. And there we go. Oh, the suspense. And by the way, I should mention, this is the Crema Gusto going in there now. And we are right about there. And that's about it. So, yeah, we got crema. However, I don't know that it's anything special per se. I mean, that's the top. Looks nice. From a production standpoint, a couple of millimeters worth. You can see that properly. Smell wise, smells right. Taste wise, decent. I mean, one thing I'll note, and you can't tell this, but the regular espresso from LavAzza, as soon as you open it up, you smell a bit of that chocolatey, the chocolate notes. And I know a lot of people talk about that. It doesn't taste like chocolate, to be fair, when you actually drink it, but as soon as I open it up, it's got a better smell, for me at least. Hang with me 2 seconds. I'm going to load this up, and we'll do the regular espresso and see what that produces. All right, so we just saw the Crema Gusto. Now we're gonna go for the regular espresso. I got that queued up. New glass. Let's do it. From my perspective already, you know, I know that that's scent. Obviously you can't appreciate it, but for me it's got a better smell. And look, coffee is the one thing where it's particular to everybody, and these days, that's done. And these days, with people throwing in everything from almond milk to oat milk to half and half to all the creamers, all the Starbucks creamers, you know, it changes everything anyway. So there's some purists out there, maybe just a little bit of sugar, but you know, it's going to be particular to everybody's taste. There's no rule, but I just wanted to see, and I thought I'd tape it. You know, does it actually produce more crema? Is there a difference? And I would say no really notable difference. Looks wise, it looks about, you know, just as good. Obviously the one on the right, that's the crema, and that's settled already, but really wouldn't say that it produced, remember this is the new one, I wouldn't say that it produced any extra. So let's go for the taste. For me, the regular espresso Italiano, that's the preferable taste. Let me do the other one again. Yeah, the Crema Gusto is, I don't know, for me it's a slightly burnt taste. All right, well, I thank you for joining me on this little experiment. I think you know which ones I prefer. As far as a crema difference, I don't really see one. There is a taste difference. If any of you actually tried the LavAzza Nespresso pods and you have any thoughts, please share them down below. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down below. I'm about, you know, this close to purchasing a new espresso machine today, actually, and I'll get into that in another video in terms of why I bought the model I did and why I'm switching out from the DeLonghi, this particular model. But if you found this at all helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more any of those future videos, please do subscribe, and I thank you for joining me.